Good morning. It is Craig Bennett, aka Cash Cake, here with DFSArmy for another NBA First Look. And again, we got the two-game play-in. We saw Boston beat up on Washington last night, and the Pacers put a whooping on the Hornets. So a lot of fun. Again, some blowouts. Not great competitive basketball, but again, playoff basketball. Those rotations do shorten up. So it's a lot of fun. We got a couple good games on tap today. They start a little bit later. Yesterday, we started at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight, we start at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we got the Spurs facing the Memphis Grizzlies. And again, this one's winner done. You know, we're going for the winner of this will play the loser of the Golden State Lakers game, which starts at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the winner of that game gets the 7th seed. So should be a lot of fun. I'm going to go in and go through DraftKings and Fanduel, build some sample lineups, kind of talk about maybe ways I'm going to approach this early. There's not a whole lot of news today. Looks like we got a few guys that are out, but nothing serious. So it shouldn't be like yesterday. We're waiting on that Pacer news. It seems like forever, an eternity. So hopefully today we can kind of go through some things and this information will be more set. Again, I hope you faded Westbrook yesterday. That was the fade that I put out in this podcast and I had in the notes. I just felt like it just wasn't the price to pay for him. And when it comes to playoff basketball, things tighten up. It worked out well to fade him. So I hope you faded him and made a little bit of money yesterday. So with that, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and let's just start knocking out some information. We'll start on DraftKings first. All right, as you can see here, got DraftKings up on the board again, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time start date here. And I think we're going to start. I started just kind of going down from point guard yesterday. I think the best way to start this on today's slate is the centers, honestly. Now, again, playoff basketball, we should see these guys, play heavy minutes, especially in the first game where we know it's win or go home. And I think we got two guys that are severely underpriced here in Joval and Valanciunas and Jakob Poeltl. Jakob Poeltl, 4,900 is just way too cheap. They're going to need his size going up against Joval and crew here. So I think he's a guy, the first one I'm going to plug in my lineups. And then I'm going to go roll back and I'm going to run it with Joval here. We know he has massive upside. I think he should be able to do whatever he wants against Jakob Poeltl. So I kind of like running both of them in this game. I think they're, again, both underpriced. I think Jakob Poeltl could get us, 35 to 40 fantasy points, and there's no reason Joval can't get us close to 50 burger. I think that's the way I would start most of my lineups tonight. Would just be running these two out there. And it still leaves with 6,250 left. There's a lot of ways we can play this. Who are we going to spend up for? Because if we look at it, we got three guys over 10K here. We got Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Steph Curry. Who are we going to prioritize? I kind of feel like LeBron James and Anthony Davis are going to eat away from each other in this slate. So if I'm going to pick one, I'm probably leaning Steph Curry. So I'm going to throw him in this lineup, see if we can make it happen. He would be the one guy that I would pick. If he gets hot, he can run things. So I think Steph Curry is going to be the one guy that I'm going to start with running in these lineups. Another guy that we can look at that's real cheap that I think we can look at going is DeMar DeRozan at small forward position. It's always a position that's hard to fill, and DeRozan, we don't have, we look at the injuries here. For the Spurs, really, it's just Trey Lyles is questionable. There's nobody that's really out. We know, on the Spurs side that White has been out, for a while. So that's not going to really change anything. And DeQuan Jeffries is out. That doesn't change anything either. So from the Spurs side, it's really all hands on deck without White. But with White out, those assist numbers go up for both Murray and DeRozan. And one thing, I love them both, but I love DeRozan at the 7K mark at the small forward position. He just continues to get it done. And again, when we come back here and Murray's playing heavy minutes, he could put up a 40 or 50 burger here easily. I don't mind even running him with DeJounte Murray. He's too cheap as well. Both these guys should see 35 plus minutes. They're going to have the ball in their hands a ton. Now, Memphis has been pretty good about stopping the opposing guards, but at the same time, I think Pop's going to have to roll these guys out here, So I think that they're still too cheap to get where we need to be. So I don't mind running both of these out here. We got three Spurs. I think that's where I'm probably going to land with the Spurs. I don't really want any Rudy. I don't really care about much of these other guys. I guess if I was going to look at other Spurs to look at, maybe you can look at a Patty Mills or something. down here at 3,300 at shooting guard position. Having him come off the bench, he's a great spark off that bench and can put up. And again, I think these coaches lean more on their vets when it comes to the playoffs, a little bit bigger atmosphere and everything else. So I don't mind Patty Mills. I'm going to throw him in this lineup. I know it's a lot of Spurs, but I think they're all underpriced. So that leaves us with about 5,400 here left. I know we only have one Golden State Warrior, but again, the one other place that I would like to go, I love pairing Steph Curry with his boy, and that would be Draymond Green. 7,400, put him in the power forward position. I love it. Triple-double upside every time he's touched the court with the minutes he gets. Almost had it last game, had it there in Phoenix. Look at that, 42, 52, 40, 46. It's going to play massive minutes, so I do like, playing some Draymond here. At that price, I still think it's too cheap. I think he should be closer to an 8K player. I think Steph Curry should be closer to 11K player. I think there's a little bit of value there. Now, with this lineup that we're kind of building, we have only 3,400 left. So where are we going to find some value that we can get at? There's other ways that we can go around this. If we didn't say we didn't want to go Curry and somebody else, I like the Curry Draymond. I just love the Spurs side, how cheap they are, and I love having those Golden State guys because I know generally it's going to go towards Steph Curry and Draymond Green are going to, carry that team. So that's where I would look at. Lakers are favored by 5, and it's a 219 over under. So it's both these over unders are low. The Spurs and Memphis favored by 4 at the 222 over under. So we should see some really good competitive basketball, and that's kind of where I'm leaning here. So other ways we can look at this, if we just see what we have in this forward position at 3,400 to make this work. I do worry that we're going to not see a ton of Devin Vassell here. I do think that, if you're looking to take a chance for a team that's, for a guy that's priced at that price, I think he's worth a shot, but I don't know, how many minutes is he going to see. If he sees 20 minutes, he can get it going, but it's a little rough. Like, coming down here, I don't think we're going to see a lot of minutes out of these guys. So I guess I would just look at pulling Vassell in this lineup if I was going to go this route. Now, if we decided, hey, maybe I don't want to put Steph Curry and I want to go more balanced here, I can look at, I don't really like playing Schroeder when I have both AD and LeBron playing, so I don't really like that. I think John Moran is overpriced here at 8,300, so I don't like that. Horton Tucker, not in the playoffs, not in this game. That's not a Horton Tucker game. I just don't really like it. I love the upside of Curry. And then I love, you're not going to love your lineups in a 2-game slate. There's going to be times where you just have to say, oh, well, this is going to work. And I think you're going to want one of Curry, LeBron, or AD in your lineups at price. And I just would much rather go Curry here. Now, another way that we could do this is we could take Draymond Green out and maybe we can look at playing Triple J Jackson Jr. here. We got 4,900 left. But that kind of leaves us in this Keldon Johnson range, which I don't mind, or Brandon Clark. That would be another route we could go here. But you'd hope for a big game out of him. But say we get 50 out of Draymond and Vassell puts up 15. Well, it's 65 points. Now, that's what you'd say, well, these other two, can I get 2 other guys that can put up 65 points? Well, if Jaren Jackson puts up, say, 35, then I need 30 out of this next guy. Can I get 30 out of Keldon Johnson? You could, but the likelihood of happening, that's another thing you got to think of as well. So I still think I'm going to land on this path, just building through this, talking through it. I still think I'm going to lead on this, going both Curry and Draymond Green on DraftKings, loading up on the Spurs value here. I think they're going to play really tough. And then, Joe Val anchoring it at that center. I think it's a two center build here, and then kind of figuring out what I'm going to do here. Is it Vassell? Is it Macklemore? Something like that. I just like Vassell, and he fits right in here. Might be a pretty common build, but ways that I would look on it. Let's head on over to FanDuel real quick. FanDuel build, always going to be a little bit different, just because you have to play, multiple guys, point guards and whatnot, and it just kind of changes the whole construction of the build. Though, Steph Curry's 10-4, DeJounte Murray's 7,700, John Morant's only 7,500 here. You get a big discount over here compared to how he was on DraftKings. So that's something we have to consider. DeJounte Murray, though, 7,700. Again, I think he's going to have to do a little bit of everything here. And then I still want Steph Curry at 10-4. I think we have the room to look at things here. If we go over to center, again, I think it's going to be you're either going up to Joval or you're coming down to Jakob Poeltl. Those are the guys I want. I really don't want anybody else here. I guess you could look at, there's a three-headed monster in the Lakers at center. What are they going to do with Drummond, Harrell, and Gasol? I think I'm just going to skip this whole thing. I know Jakob Poeltl is going to play big minutes. I know Joval is going to play big minutes. I think that's the way you go. I'm going to play Jakob Poeltl in this lineup because it gives me a little bit of savings, kind of see where I'm sitting at. Power forward position, again, I want to make sure I get Draymond in there. Again, AD at 11K, I don't think you can fit, a couple of these guys in. So I'm going to look at Steph Curry as the guy to anchor it. If I wasn't going to go Steph Curry, I would come down to John Morant here. But I do like this upside of both Curry and Murray. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to put in Draymond at 8,200. I just like his upside. I think there's 40, 50 point upside easily there. Then I think you look at a guy like Jaren Jackson Jr. Or come down to maybe a Rudy Gay or a Clark. I wouldn't go down further than that. There's not a whole lot that I actually love down here. It'd be really Rudy Gay, Clark. I don't love that price on Toscano Anderson. I'd much rather play one of these cheaper guys or Jaren Jackson. I'm going to put Jaren Jackson in because that feels the safest with upside here at power forward. At least it's 5,200 left for the rest of our lineup here. If we go to small forward, again, LeBron James is 10K. You're not going to be able to fit these guys. If I throw him in there, you'd have to have three guys at 3,600 or below. So it's not going to work. You're going to have to, I guess there's a way to do it if you're going to play some cheaper guys. It's just kind of like yesterday when I was like, fade Westbrook. I think you just got to pick what you want to do. So say we don't go Steph Curry and we go LeBron James here. And then on the point guard, I'm okay with going John Morant here. I just don't think you're going to make it work. So let's build two lineups. Let's do the one like we had before with Curry and see what it kind of looks like. And then build the other one and see which one we feel more comfortable with. So come down here to small forward. Keldon Johnson at 4,500 is a pretty good price. Now, we do have Kelly Oubre Jr. out, so we're going to still see a lot of Kent Bazemore. 5,300, he can get it going and get hot, so I don't mind him. Kyle Kuzma, again, I think is going to be that catalyst off the bench a little bit. 4K, should see some time. It's either between him and Keldon Johnson or both of them. But I think this is where you're landing in. Kyle Anderson, if you want to say revenge game against the Spurs, I don't really like playing him a ton when that team is completely healthy. Now, Grayson Allen is questionable. If he plays, I think it's even going to hurt Kyle Anderson even more. But a guy that we can definitely consider here. So let's plug in, say, Bazemore. At least it's 5,200 left. Shooting guard. DeRozan's way underpriced. Definitely throwing DeRozan in here. I would rather play him than Wiggins all day long. He's going to get some assists, rebounds, does a little bit of everything for this team. Down here, we're looking at Lonnie Walker or Devin Vassell. I probably would lean Lonnie Walker. He's going to get more rotation time than Vassell will. So 3,900. Is that too many Spurs? 1, 2, 3. No, we got 4. So only have 4 of them. Then it leaves us 4,100 left. Right there, Kyle Kuzma. That would make this lineup work really nice, actually. Now let's do it the other way. If we decided, okay, let's take out Steph Curry, let's throw in Bazemore and this route, we got 4,500 left. Alex Caruso is not going to get enough run for me to love it. Neither Tyus Jones. I just don't like the run here. I don't like it. If I throw in John Morant here, then I have to kind of consider, getting off maybe DeRozan. And then I'm living on, Vassell or Horton Tucker. And I just don't like that build. I don't like the way it looks. I just think this is probably the way to build, like still Curry and Murray. Now, if you didn't want Murray and you want John Morant there, I'm okay with that. If you didn't want to run Bazemore and say you wanted to come up to, let's go back and run DeMar DeRozan and Lonnie Walker still at her shooting guards. 4,700 left. If you want to go up to Kyle, you can't get up to Kyle Anderson in this build. Maybe you want to go, let's just do Keldon Johnson and Kuzma. Do we have enough? They say only 900. So we don't have enough to get up to Joval here. Because in some tournament aspects, I like the Joval, but he's just so expensive. And I think Jakob Poeltl is a safer bet if you're building single entry. So that's the decision I think you got to make. I think the majority of my lineups are going to have 4 Spurs in them on both sides because they're cheap. Then I'm going to have, a splash of, Draymond and Steph. It's just the way I want to roll. That team's the only way they stay close is if it's on the back of Steph and Draymond. And that's kind of when I want to sit there. And then, picking your Memphis Grizzlies. On DraftKings, we're looking more towards Joval at price. And over here, maybe it's Jaren Jackson because you had to play 2 power forwards. So, again, I don't think you can play two studs out of the 3. and I lean Steph Curry. So again, just a quick down and dirty of things. Again, remember start time is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know some people might have got screwed up yesterday with the 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we got an extra hour here. We're not waiting on a lot of news besides Grayson Allen, but I don't think it's going to change a whole lot besides maybe making Kyle Anderson a little unplayable. But again, no big fades for me here outside of, you know, if I'm running a single entry, I'm going to fade AD and LeBron. But in tournaments, I would rotate these guys around because, you know, AD could still have a big game. So could LeBron. One of those guys could get hurt. They've been banged up for a while. So knowing that I'm just going to be completely fading. But guys that I am looking at, you know, having in the rotation, no complete fades for me here. And then my center is basically going to be all Jakob Poeltl and Valanciunas. I might look at a little Drummond against Golden State. They don't have anybody to body him up. I just always worry how many minutes they're going to play of him, Harrell, or Gasol. So that's my only concern. In tournaments, I think I would look at a little Drummond. The upside's probably a little better than Jakob Poeltl, but Jakob Poeltl's got a way bigger floor to me because they can always run 80 at the 5, especially how small that Golden State can run, and where they run Draymond at the 5, they could easily throw AD down there, so it's not a big deal. But with that, again, I hope you appreciate the video. I appreciate you taking the time out to spend your morning watching these with me. And I will knock out a few more videos today. And head on over to DFSArmy, use promo code CashCake, save yourself 10%. I will have notes up early this morning, put my MME percentages in as well, and answer any questions that we might have for tonight's slate. And with that, hit that like button on your way out, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you on the flip side. Deuces.